What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Cajun Decay, presenting this time Searcy's Hospital in Mount Vernon, Alabama. This place has a really shady dark history, like some of the other places that we're going to be exploring together here in the next few weeks. Whenever we get going on this one, I just want you to keep one thought in the back of your mind, and it's a question. What if I told you that our collective history is darker than we think? That's a big question for me that is going to be involved in this place, Searcy Hospital. Coming up, Milledgeville is definitely involved in this. Dozier School for Boys. There's a lot of dark things, guys. Lots of bad things that have happened over the last 150, almost 200 years, even in the United States of America, dealing with under the guise of mental health treatment. Anyways, we'll get into that
Feels like
a little bit further as a whole for the nation and the systemic problems that it seems to be having all the way from state to state to state in a cookie cutter type format. But as of right now, we're just going to stick with today and Searcy. So thanks for joining, and let's get this thing on the road. There are places in this country where the ground feels heavy, where the silence is louder than any noise. This is one of those places. What you're going to be seeing around me are the remains of Searcy Hospital in Mount Vernon, Alabama. For over a century, this sprawling compound was a world unto itself, hidden away from the public view, but its story is not one of healing. It's a story of confinement, neglect, and a dark chapter of American history. Today we're going to walk these grounds and peel back the layers. Before it was an asylum, it was a prison. And before that, it was an arsenal. Every brick here has a story. Join me as we uncover the truth of what happened right here on this land. To understand what this place became, you have to know what it was first. We're going back to the 1830s, before any patient ever set foot here. This was the Mount Vernon Arsenal, a place of weapons of war. It was built for containment, isolated, secure, and imposing. You can still feel that intention in the very bones of these oldest buildings. But its most famous chapter before becoming an asylum is a somber one. In the late 1880s, this arsenal became a prison for the Apache leader Geronimo and nearly 300 of his people. They were held here for years, a population deemed undesirable, confined and controlled. It's a chilling foreshadowing of what was to come. So even before the first patient arrived, this ground was already seasoned with the history of confinement. It was a place you were sent to, a place to be forgotten. In 1902, the site's purpose shifted. The state of Alabama opened the Mount Vernon Insane Hospital for Negroes, and that name is critical. This wasn't just an asylum, it was a segregated asylum from its very first day. Alabama's mental health system was a tale of two worlds. The white institution, Bryce Hospital, received more funding and resources. Searcy received the leftovers. It was separate but equal, in name only. In reality, it was separate and profoundly unequal. And that inequality had deadly consequences, almost immediately. In the early 1900s, a horrifying disease called pellagra swept through these halls. It's a slow, agonizing death caused by a simple vitamin deficiency. The staff didn't get sick, though. Why? Because the patients were fed a cheap corn-based diet with no nutritional value. This wasn't just an outbreak, it was symptoms of systemic, fatal neglect. The people here weren't just patients, they were seen as disposable. For the next 50 years, Searcy descended into a long, dark era. It became less of a hospital and more of a human warehouse. Imagine these corridors not silent like they are today, but echoing with the sounds of over 2,000 people. It was severely overcrowded, and by the 1960s, there was only one licensed doctor for all of them. One. So what did treatment look like? It wasn't therapy. For many, it was forced labor. Patients were made to work the hospital's massive farms, tilling the fields, tending the livestock. They called it occupational therapy, but in reality, it was an unpaid labor force, and if you weren't working, you were likely confined. Control was maintained with heavy sedatives, tranquilizers, and physical restraints. Life here was a monotonous cycle of confinement and control with little hope of ever leaving. People were sent here for epilepsy, for depression, for being unruly. A diagnosis was effectively a life sentence. By the late 1960s, the pressure inside these walls was reaching a boiling point. In 1968, a riot erupted. Patients pushed to their absolute limit fought back. It was a cry of desperation. But that cry was about to be heard. In 1970, a lawsuit was filed that would change everything. It was called Wyatt versus Stickney. The case ripped the lid off Alabama's entire mental health system. Investigators and lawyers became into Searcy, and what they found shocked the nation. They found records of patients being beaten with electrical cords, of people being scalded to death in showers. They documented the filth, the neglect, the absolute absence of care. A federal judge named Frank M. Johnson, Jr. heard the evidence, and in 1972 he issued a landmark ruling. He called the conditions here barbaric and inhumane. And then he established for the first time in history that people in mental institutions have a constitutional right to treatment. It was a legal earthquake, and Searcy Hospital was at the epicenter. The Wyatt ruling began the long, slow process of shutting places like this down. The patient population dwindled over the decades, but the problems never truly went away. As recently as 2012, a patient was severely beaten here, a sign that the failures of supervision were still present. Later that same year, the state of Alabama officially closed Searcy Hospital for good. So now it sits here, silent, reclaimed by nature. It's easy to look at these ruins and just see an abandoned building, but it's not. It's a monument. It's a testament to the thousands of lives that were lived and lost within these walls. The story of Searcy is a warning. It's about what happens when we as a society decide to lock away the people we don't understand. When we strip them of their humanity and forget them, the silence here is a reminder that we can never, ever let that happen again. That's my guess. And then they came through and punched the locks out, so nobody else would get trapped. Fuck that. That was fucking awesome. I found security right out front, looking through the window at them. I don't know if there's anybody there or not, but apparently they're pretty close. I think that means, I think they're right around there. The security's right around that corner. I hope that's all of it. Visitor control. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty scared I'm gonna get caught at some point here. So sorry if the video ends up shaky. Holy fuck. It's just like a damn city. Vultures on top of that bitch. That just looks fucking creepy as fuck. Financial services. Yeah, give us more money. This stairs going all the way to the roof of that thing. There's no way. Imagine if you were mentally ill. Or fucking perfectly goddamn sane. But the state decided that, for whatever reason, you were gonna be locked up for being mentally insane and black. What the fuck you got brought to? Or Geronimo. I mean, imagine being kicked off your fucking land by these fucking random white people show up on boats and shit. You share some turkey. Show them how to grow some fucking corn and shit, and what do you get, man? You get marched across the goddamn hot-ass country and locked up in this bitch. But, I mean, it had to be horrifying. And again, what always gets me at every one of these fucking places I go to is the amount of people involved to make these places function. And then add in the fact that they're always in these tiny little towns where pretty much, you know, the whole town, the surrounding area is all basically thriving and existing off of this place. Well, if they've been doing fucking torturous, horrible things for a century or two, then you can't just say that nobody knew. Or like a few bad eggs. Like, I mean, it's horror show fucking shit. These people knew. I'm sure, I mean, you know, my kids grew up with their parents working here, their grandparents worked here, their great-grandparents worked here, they probably worked here. There's families that have to be involved in some fucked up things. And that is one of the most amazing churches I've ever seen. Also, something that creeps me the fuck out every time is you have this horror show going on all around you. But then comes Sunday morning. You got all these people that know what's going on, that are making their living, eating their motherfucking good dinners, praising the Lord in the house here, not giving a fuck about what's going on to anybody right here. That's pretty fucking sick. I love it here. So this is unworldly. Milledgeville is awesome. Don't get me wrong. This feels like I've been dropped in a fucking movie. A post-apocalyptic movie. The reception building, that's the main with the horse. Okay, main one with the horseshoe drive. Not going in that. Don't ever go in a place that's worth. No place, no picture, no video. None of it's worth fucking dying for, guys. And anything can get you. Me, I'm jumpy. I like bees, flies, anything makes me jump, and I could easily see myself just taking my time, being careful, and then walking around a corner, getting stung by a bee, freaking the hell out, and then falling straight through a floor and dying, breaking a leg, whatever. That's another thing. If you ever go to do this shit, let people know where the fuck you're at. Let's not tear shit up. Especially if you come here to a place like this. Don't come over here and fuck this up, man. I mean, talking about Indians, Geronimo. I'm not a fucking history fanatic on Indians by any means. I like history, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be doing what I do here, but I don't know anything about it. But I know that it's pretty historically fucking significant to know that this housed everybody from all fucked up situations. If you walk through that, it's a bad fucking day. Guys, if y'all like this, be sure to like and subscribe. Cajun Decay. I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, but I love my adventures. I love the feeling I get going to experience, crazy things like this on a daily basis. And I want to share it with people that would like to see it. Shit like this is literally a city that's closed away by the state after it was funded by the state in citizens' name to enact atrocities. If you're an American citizen, this happens all over the damn country. To me,
Seems kind of fucked up that they would lock it all completely down to where no one can come see it, knowing that they're responsible for fucked up shit. Not this place maybe even necessarily being the prime example. I know Milledgeville. I've been there. Milledgeville's definitely fucked up. Dozier School, horrible place. I mean, a horrible history. This place, I'm sure it's got all its fucking hidden things. I mean, but it's definitely the most insane feeling. You feel like you're walking through 300 years, I guess you are. And you got almost modern hospitals. Regular, I mean, some like fucking 1800s, like ride your horse and buggy over here to get a cold Coca-Cola with some cocaine in it. All the way to fucking a prison from when we were stealing land from Indians. Don't let our histories get erased, guys. I still want to check that one out. That's fucking crazy. I'm gonna save it. Next time it's here. So long. So that's it for this episode of Cajun Decay. Had a great time out here sweating a lot at Searcy Hospital, Mount Vernon, Alabama. By far one of the most just surreal places I've ever been to in my life. And I have no regrets. Can't wait to come back. I got so much more to explore. But if I get out of here this time without getting caught, that's a good sign. Whew! Made it out of Searcy. That was fucking crazy. Ammunition plant, prison for Indians, mental hospital, horror show. Fucking crazy. Let's get the hell out of here. Oh, we still got one more place to explore on this journey back from Florida. Time to go, dude. They must have been on me, or I must be lucky because that car is definitely not there anymore. And it was for sure next to that golf cart. This place is patrolled, guys. Don't get caught. Have an adventure.